Today's book is Punchinello and the Most Marvelous Gift by Max Lucado.
Yay!
Yay, he's a very good author. All right, Punchinello's feet dangle from Eli's workbench. This is my favorite time of the year, Eli. I love Maker Day. That's great. The big-handed woodworker smiled as he swept the sawdust from the floor. I love being your maker, and see, he's made, Punchinello is wooden, so he's made all of that. Everybody see? Smile. This year, I want to do something really big for you. You do? Eli paused and asked, like what? You do? Eli paused and asked again, like what?
Are you pathetic or what?
Just being with you is enough for me, Punchinello, the wood carver told him. But I want to do more. I like you. I love you. I want all to see. Hey, that rhymes. This year he jumps down from the bench and gave his big maker a smile. This year I'm doing something really big for you. And he scampered on the floor.
You want to sing it?
Come in, Mrs. Dunn.
How are you? Will you be one of our children?
Would you be a child?
Go home.
None. So we're practicing our
so we
story.
don't cry.
There you go. I gotta go look and go home and get ready
Just
for
leave it on my desk.
I will. I was gonna sneak out another one if I could.
Sure, go ahead.
Because it's a long time next week.
Good, and you swear we were here.
I will swear everyone over you were here, and I'm sorry I can't get a child.
You want me to sing it?
Yes. He scampered out the door, making a little song out of the words that he had just said.
I like you. I love you. I want all to see. Without you, Eli, there won't be no me.
Be careful, little friend. That was beautiful. Eli smiled and waved. Oh, look. Going on to the next page, Kitty. Keep messing up the rug here. Punchinello sang his new song all the way down to Wemmicksville. The village was bustling. Wemmicks packed the streets and the shops. Everyone was getting ready for the big day. The wee Wemmick choir rehearsed in the village square. Workers were putting up the town tree. Some townspeople shopped and others painted windows. Everyone smiled. It's Maker Day made everybody happy. Okay? And Maker Day made Hans, the baker, busy. Busy baking a 7-layer version of his famous chocolate cherry truffle cake with buttercream frosting. Sounds like something Sarah would like. Punchinello loved to visit his squatty friend with the starched hat. He peeked into the window of the bakery to see Hans tiptoeing around on his top step of a tall ladder, placing cherries around the 7th layer. Oh, what fun. And Punchinello smacked his lips, and stepped into the doorway. Hi, Hans. Do you need help?
No, I know how to do it.
Good. Hi, Hans, Punchinello called. The baker jumped, and the ladder began to sway. Back and forth, until Hans yanked himself and the ladder forward and started falling towards the cake. Oh, great. Oh! Hans would have plugged right into it, but Punchinello dashed across the room, scampered up the ladder.
Punchinello?
Yeah. and grabbed the baker by the collar. Woo!
I'm sorry.
Crazy.
Okay.
Woo! Hand said his face was licking distance of the frosting.
I have no idea what they're missing.
I know it. You're exactly right.
It's sad.
We're having a good time.
It is. We're
having
stop,
fun.
haven't
you? Take a break here. Cameraman, take a
He's not
break
that
here.
You're quite all right. Just sit down.
Christmas ale. Merry Christmas to you. See you Saturday. Okay. I'm sorry, Punchinello apologized. No problem, little friend. Hans replied as he climbed down the ladder. My mind was on the cake. He turned and placed his hands on his hips and beamed. Isn't it something? Triumphant truffles. My cake is going to be the best part of Maker Day Festival. Yay, Hans.
She was up to hear the story after all.
You can sit in the audience.
I need to be.
Bye. That's Chevy, you asked me to Chevy. Oh, okay. Really? Definitely the very best part. Now, if you'll hand me the jar of cherries, Punchinello did as he was told, and Hans climbed the ladder again. Up you go, Punchinello. Punchinello decided to see what else was happening in Wemmicksville. See you later, Hans. But the busy baker didn't hear. His mind was on the cherries. And at the next shop, Violet's mind was on the flowers. Oh. Her bouquet stood taller than the entire flower shop. But where was the florist? I've never seen so many flowers, Punchinello said to himself. This is crazy.
I'm Violet, the florist.
Yes.
Hi, Violet. Hi. We can still see you.
It's the biggest bouquet in the history of Wemmicksville, Violet boasted as she placed a red carnation next to a white tulip. What's it for? Maker Day, of course.
No, it wasn't red.
We don't have any red.
We're colorblind.
Use our imagination.
Pardon. Yes. Violet glanced.
No heckling from the outfield.
Violet glanced at him. Hands in his cake. Ah, Eli will like my flowers better than that baker's stack of dough. She lifted her chin and turned back to the bouquet. Oh, she was busy. Oh, Punchinello swallowed. I think I'll move on.
Where did he go now?
All right, he's walking down the street, y'all. Have you ever read this book? That's lovely. Yeah. He stepped around the flowers into the street, bumping into his friend Lucia, who was reading a sheet of music. Happy Maker Day, Lucia. Same to you, Punch. I'm late for my voice lesson. Voice lesson? I'm going to sing a solo at the Maker's Day Festival. My song is going to make the best Maker's Day ever. Just the best it ever was. But Hans and Violet just said, Lucia never heard him. Dr. Marvel is training me. He'll accompany me in his Marvel-phony Organeo.
Where, Doctor? Train her.
I made up a song today, and Punchinello started, but then he stopped. Marvella, what? Come on, I'll show you. But we have to hurry. I can't keep Dr. Marvel waiting. Lucia grabbed Punchinello's hand.
Here's Dr. Marvel. Here's Dr. Marvel.
Lucia grabbed Punchinello's hand and led him down the busy street, past the toy store packed with little women. Past the dress shop that was painted red and green. Past the huge Maker Day tree standing in the middle of Wemmick Square. Punchinello paused at the sight of the enormous tree. Hey, let's get some decorations. Do we have this?
We do.
We have people?
We have trees.
Oh, thank you. Good. Around the corner. I get so excited thinking it's like a child. Around the corner they turned. The studio just off Main Street. And the sign over the door read, Dr. Marvel's Music Manufactory. Look here. They walk in and look.
What is that?
That is the manufactory. Dr. Marvel. The moment they closed the door, the two friends heard music erupt in the big room. Trumpets blared, flutes whistled, drums kaboomed, and tubas bellowed. Punchinello looked around for a marching band, but he didn't see one. He ducked behind Lucia. Oh, don't be afraid, she said. It's break his legs.
You heard Punchinello.
Poor thing. It's Violet's going back on. She motivated. Keep on your flowers. Are we okay? Looking small in front of it all, Dr. Marvel.
This could be Dr. Marvel.
Yes, he's perfect for it. His hands raced back and forth between the piano keys and a large panel of buttons, switches, and levers with a sign that said, louder, softer, more beat, big booms, pull for taps, tug for toots. He plays jazz, too. His feet moved even faster. One pumped into the instrument. The other foot pressed the brass drum pedal. I'm getting my words mixed up here. The musician was in non-stop motion. Doctor, Lucia called loudly, but not loudly enough. Dr. Marvel! And he didn't even turn around. Dr. Marvel! She and Punchinello yelled together at the top of their lungs. The music came to a sudden stop. And suddenly, the stumpy little Wemmick turned his head. Oh, he scared me in the dark. Excuse me. This is Christmas. I'm
Do
sorry.
we need the tree, or do we pass the tree?
When he saw Lucia, his thick eyebrows lifted and he appeared over his glasses. Why, come in, come in. And who is your friend? This is just Punchinello. See, there they are. I know you're enjoying this, Andrew. Hello, funny pillow. Please come in and rest. Isn't my music machine the absolute best? My name is Punchinello. I've never seen anything like your machine. And you'll never will, he says. Did you hear it bellow? This invention is one of a kind, Marshmallow, Punchinello sighed, glancing at Lucia. She just shrugged. Dr. Marvel didn't hear. He had turned to Lucia. And now, my dear, have you come to sing? Together, you and I will make a Maker's Day ring. I've been practicing my song, Lucia chimed in, and Punchinello spoke up. Speaking of songs, I made up one for Eli, but neither Dr. Marcella or Lucia listened. They were already tuning up the Marabella Funia or leaving Punchinello standing alone. He stepped outside. Maker's Day is almost here, and I still don't know what I'm going to do for Eli. Just having you with me is enough, Punchinello remembered his maker saying. but he still wanted to give Eli a special gift. All the way home, he tried to think of another idea. It's so hard to think of ideas at Christmas. There he is, talking to somebody else. Y'all okay over there? Y'all really want to hear the rest of this?
Yep.
We didn't do it for nothing.
All right. The next morning, he was still thinking about the gift for Eli. With hands deep in his pocket, Punchinello talked to himself all the way to Wemmicksville. Maybe I could bake a wimberry pie. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. Then he remembered how awful his last pie tasted. Nah, I can't cook. What if I make a bouquet for Eli? Then he remembered the size of violet flowers and arrangements. I could never make one to give the maker. Main Street overflowed with Wemmicks. Every wooden person in Wemmick's Valley was pressing toward the town square when a large circle had been roped off. In the center of the circle, the Maker Day tree sparkled. The mayor and his wife stood,
We'll put a flashlight on it, make it sparkle.
oh, that would be lovely. The maker and his wife stood on a large platform. Before them were 3 large objects hidden under pieces of canvas. Oh, my. Punchinello knew exactly what they were. Violet stood next to one, hands beside the other.
Hands.
Lucia paced between them, back and forth in front of the covered music machine. She looked worried. Dr. Marvel was nowhere to be seen. Punchinello caught her attention. Lucia, he shouted, "Where's Dr. Marvel?"
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Yeah!
She looked over her shoulder toward the blanketed instrument. Then, when Punchinello saw the moving bumps under the cover, something is broken, she said. Oh, my. Oh, my goodness, look at poor Mr. Marvel.
Is he under cover?
Oh, he's right here.
Oh.
He must be awful sad.
Sad. All right, before Punchinello could ask more, we're not answering, we're not in this. The mayor and his wife stepped in front of the huge Maker Day Festival sign, taped on the microphone, and announced Happy Maker's Day to everyone. The crowd cheered. Yeah. The crowd cheered. Unrolling a big scroll, the mayor began to read at a very boring speed. Being this is the Maker Day, and we are here by our Maker. I hereby and so forth with henceforth pleasure. Oh goodness, he's gone on a real long speech here. Punch noticed Dr. Marvel peeking out from under the cover. Motioning to Lucia, she leaned over, he whispered, and she turned red. She whispered back, and Punchinello knew something was wrong. What are y'all doing? Then, when they looked up at him, Lucia motioned for him to come over. He crawled under the controls while he kept it working. But I don't know how to. It's easy, she interrupted. Just sit on his shoulders and do what he says. The music professor nodded.
I don't think you can sit on his shoulders.
No. We could try.
Who would be calling us about?
You want me to answer it?
Somebody that drove by.
I'll answer it.
Vehicles, probably.
The sheriff.
got reports of people in the library.
After, about that time, oh my goodness, look at him sitting on poor Dr. Marvel's shoulders. The mayor had presented Violet and her flowers. The three stopped whispering long enough to see her curtsy in front of the bouquet.
In front of the bouquet.
Ah, that's lovely. The best part of Maker's Day, shouted the mayor. No, it's not. It's not, screamed Hans. He was already on the top step of his ladder at a wave of his hand, and a rope was yanked, and the canvas pulled straight up, unveiling his 7-layer chocolate cherry puff chocolate cake with double buttercream frosting. Oh, good. The townspeople gasped, then roared in approval. Violet crossed her arms and frowned, and Dr. Marvel motioned to Punchinello. Come on, Runny Yellow. It's time to play. Yeah. So we'll be the best part of the Maker's Day. The musicians sat on the bench, Punchinello climbed on his shoulders, and Lucia stood with her back to them, interlocking her fingers, pointing to her elbows to the end and side, and prepared to sing. Punchinello stared at all the buttons. He gulped and thought to himself, how will I ever do this? There's so many of these buttons. Big blast, soft lindy sound, bells tinkling, tinkle, tinkle, a harp singing. I don't think I can do this. Before Punchinello could finish, Dr. Marvel came to call him into action. Oh, here we go, y'all. Honey Mellow, let's get flashing. Pull the lever that reads, symbol flashing. Punchinello, it's getting good. Punchinello looked frantically, spotted the lever, and gave it a pull. Mechanical hands lifted a set of symbols, and crash! Song began. Lucia started singing. Her voice going up and down as if someone was shaking her. Thinking someone was sick, she was sick, Punchinello looked over her shoulder. But Lucia was cheering. What are you making that noise? He hollered at her. Hasty fellow, for chit-chat we have no time. Reach to the right and give me a chime. Punchinello pulled the rope bell and felt the music professor bouncing beneath him. Pushing doubly hard on the air pump. Instruments came alive. Oh, that was a little alive. Blasting and blowing and sounding Punchinello in a hurry. Dr. Marvel shouted instructions to Punchinello. Crazy. As Punchinello pushed the button, a blast from the cue button. Now strings from the cello. Keep alert up there, funny fellow. My name is Punchinello. The lever yanked Wemmick. He leaned down so his voice would be heard. He never should have lowered his head. His forehead hit the lever labeled, "Let her go," and the organic started to rumble. Women grabbed their little children and ran to their cars. Get out of here. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The earthquake platform shook the mayor out of his chair. Decorations fell from the Maker Day tree. Lucia stopped singing. The professor started shouting. Turn it down! She's starting to shake. last thing we want is for this thing to break.
There you go, Ethan.
You're on day 2.
It was too late. The train whistle flew first, blasting off the Marzello from the organo like a rocket. The trombones were next to go. Then the saxophones, with the boom of the kettle drum. Everything exploded. All of it exploded. Flutes flew. Cymbals sailed. Trumpets cereal. Dr. Marble stopped. But for some odd reason, he pumped harder. Okay, than ever. And since there were no instruments, the air blasted through the bouncing hose right at Hans 7-layer chocolate cake, blowing icing and cherries all over the women. Lucia grabbed the hose and yanked it away from the cake, but accidentally aimed it in the direction of Violet's bouquet. The air suddenly filled with wildflowers. Petals rained down on the already sticky cake.
Oh, it's just cake. I'm sorry.
Yes, 1 minute they were ducking flying French horns, and the next they were going 8 incarnations. Then, in an instant, the pandemonium stopped. The town square was quiet. You getting excited there, Andrew? Okay. Poor Andrew's gonna take me. So the town square was quiet, and the women in shock from the explosion. Oh my goodness, sakes alive. Amy Dallow, my friend, may I tell you something? It looked to me like you pushed the wrong button. Hans and Violet wiped clumps of dough from their eyes. The mayor and his wife looked like snow creatures, covered with cake frosting from head to toe. Wouldn't that be fun? Only Lucia and the professor and Puccinello were uncaked and unfeathered for a long time. No one moved. No one knew what to say. That's when they heard the flute, a small, sweet, sweet-sounding flute. A little girl, standing next to the tree, hair sticky with cake, was playing. At first, she didn't notice everyone looking. But when she did, she stopped. I'm sorry. She blushed. It landed in my lap. Please, Punchinello pleaded. Keep playing. Everyone nodded, and the soft flute sounded nice after the bellowing marble upon the nose. Not far from the girl, an old women picked up a violin, began to play. Another villager, familiar with clarinet, found one and played again. With a matter of minutes, a dozen musicians were serenading the townspeople with their music. Dr. Marble sighed with relief. Lucia smiled, and Punchinello raised his hand and announced, "Hey, everyone, every women, I've got a great idea." Eli was hard at work when he heard the music. The sound was so sweet. It made him put down the hammer and lean out the window of his workshop. Looking down the hill, he saw the long line of women. He listened with his whole heart to the words of the song. Some played it, some sang it. Everyone meant it.
That didn't sound like a flute.
Yes,
Let's move up.
and
There's the song.
everyone meant it.
We love you. We love you. We all agree. Without you, Eli, there would be no we.
When all the women had gathered before him, Eli had such a smile that the town made quite a choir, cake covered, flowers covered, and smiling like they had never had so much fun. They sang the verse over and over again. Finally, they stopped and applauded Eli. And he clapped for them. Yes. What a marvelous song, he thanked them. And what a marvelous gift. Most marvelous gift. Dr. Marvel spoke up in agreement. Mellow yellow, my friends. This moment, I must say, is without a doubt the best of Maker days. The people applauded, and Lucia nodded, and Punchinello just blushed. It was a wonderful Christmas story. Thank you. They did a wonderful job.
Yin's all did. Yin's done real good.
That would have been fun.
It would have been fun.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Where's the kids?
Just think how good we'll be in the next time.
That's right.
Thank goodness there. Yeah, you and Andrew.
No, her and him.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's true. I didn't.
All of them, remember?
Oh, that's
Or
true.
the kids.
No, you were Hans.
Yeah.
Hans, the cake maker. I'd like to have that cake.
Okay, you can have a picture. Should we schedule it again?